The Big Whack presents Buffalo on the Rise, sponsored by Dr. Kaplansky Dental Implants. Get new permanent teeth in 24 hours with our exclusive Teeth Now process. Welcome to the television show devoted to local business, Buffalo on the Rise, with your host, Joe Chili. There's an entrepreneurial spirit in Western New York that's putting our area on the cusp of greatness. Each week, Buffalo on the Rise features local business leaders and decision makers who are shaping our future. If it's about local business, we'll talk about it right here, right now, during Buffalo on the Rise.
I'm Joe Chili. On this edition of the Big Whack Presents Buffalo on the Rise, are you keeping your New Year's resolution to lose weight? You may need some help from our friends at the Diet Mentor to help you look and feel your best. Having trouble navigating through all the paperwork when it comes to Medicare and health insurance as you get older? Find out how the Clarity Group can help add clarity to the process. Want sound financial advice for you or your family? The team at SC Parker can make your investments grow and help with your retirement plan. That's all coming up on this edition of the Big Whack Presents Buffalo on the Rise.
I'm Joe Chili. You can listen to me mornings on the Big Whack. Joining us today on the Big Whack's Buffalo on the Rise is Sherry Zilio from Diet Mentor. Sherry, I have to make sure I get this correct. Owner and board certified health and wellness coach.
That's right.
How do you become a board certified health and wellness coach?
It's a lot of study, and I had to take a 4.5-hour proctored exam through the National Board of Health and Wellness Coaches, which is the same board that gives doctors their board certification.
Wow.
Yeah.
I noticed that when you first walked in that you kind of eyed me up and down, and since you're married, I figured you were just judging my weight. Anyway.
I don't judge. I don't judge. I don't judge. I like to help people.
That's good. Let's talk about Diet Mentor. When did you open Diet Mentor?
2016, and I have 3 locations, one in Amherst, one in Lockport, and one in Hamburg.
So what do you think makes you different than some of the other diet places around? Because we all hear about diet fads that everybody wants to kind of avoid.
Right.
You know, you hate, I think the only thing worse, and I don't know, you tell me, you know, the only thing worse than, packing weight on is doing the yo-yo thing where you're up and down, up and down,
That's
up and
right.
down, up and down, right?
So we help people keep the weight off long term. We offer structure, accountability. You come in weekly, we're going to coach you, educate you, and we want you to keep that weight off long term. And I offer a free maintenance plan to do that forever. For as long as you're part of our program, you come in and still get that free accountability.
So do you ever, when you lose weight, is it a situation where they have to eat your food? Do they have to, eliminate everything that gives joy to your life, or no?
No. We are a partial meal replacement plan, meaning we're going to give you some protein products to keep you satiated or feeling full, but also that you enjoy your program. Okay, we don't want you to be on a straight chicken and broccoli for the rest of your life diet. But once you reach your weight loss goal, you don't eat our food forever. You don't have to. You can if you want. I have a lot of people that still do, but you don't have to.
Is exercise part of your plan?
You don't have to, but we do encourage it. It is part of a healthy lifestyle. So we're trying to get people to embrace eating and being healthy long term.
In America, here I go generalizing. In America, people want immediate gratification, but they don't want to work to do it.
That's right.
Right. So, we hear the whole thing now about injectables. I mean, and by that, I'm talking about Ozempic and some of the different things that
Right.
people can have, and they're not necessarily, at least in my, as I understand it, they might not have necessarily been created for weight loss. It may be a byproduct of something else.
Right.
But people are always said, hopping to get on it, and maybe insurance won't cover it, maybe it will. What's your feeling on these things?
My feeling is, if it sounds too good to be true, sometimes it is. Ozempic was created for diabetics, and what they did was increase the dose, and then they realized that people were losing weight. But they're losing about a half pound a week. With my program, women lose 2 to 4 pounds on average a week, men lose 3 to 5, and then we help you keep it off. So you're going to take a drug that has side effects like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. No thank you for me. And then there's some really risky side effects long term. You could get potentially thyroid cancer, stomach paralysis, and there's some other really bad side effects. So why not do my program? And the side effects are improved health, improved sleep, de-stress, and less central obesity, which is your stomach, and we're going to help you keep it off long term. When you go off these medications, the rate is 65% that people gain their weight back with even more weight on top of it. So,
well, what scares the living daylights out of me is, and because I do commercials and things of this nature for a living, is all the things that come at the end. The disclaimer, if you will, that
That's
you're
right.
reading, 1,600 miles an hour, so nobody really hears exactly what it is. But may cause this, may cause this, may cause this, may cause this, or death.
Yes.
And you're like, come on, why would I
one of
want
the
to do
side effects
anything?
is actually suicidal thoughts.
Oh.
So when people do my program, they say, I've got my life back. Thank you. I have more energy. I sleep better. I feel better. My doctor's amazed. I'm no longer diabetic or have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So why not reap those side effects?
The other thing I want to mention is you have actually been in this situation before.
Yes, I have.
Where you have weighed more.
Yes.
And you said the fact that you feel so much better.
Yes.
That if people actually did it, if they had lost weight, they would be amazed at how it improves their life, right?
That's
Overall.
right. I was clinically obese. I had type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, fatty liver. I was stressed out. I wasn't sleeping well. Once I lost the weight, all of that is gone. I don't take any medications. I no longer have any of those diseases. And that's why I wanted to help people. I help the average person that is like, how do I lose this weight once and for all and keep it off?
All right. We've got about a minute and a half left. So how do people, viewers out there now, get started?
You can call 500-DIET, call and schedule a free info appointment. You're going to meet with someone like myself or one of my coaches. Again, we have 3 locations, Amherst, Lockport, and Hamburg, and we're going to just tell you about the program, talk about costs, how it works. You can sample some of our food. Usually people sign up on the spot. They say, this is for me, this is what I want to do. I don't want any part of the drugs.
Any cost for the evaluation?
No, it's free. It's free. If you want to do it, fine, and if you don't, if you want to do something else, we respect that.
And what about if people, get on the program and they're kind of unsure? Do you give them kind of coaching as you're going along, or kind of a
Oh
pep
yeah,
talk?
we're health coaches, so we're going to help you embrace eating and being healthy and get to your goal. We want to see you get to your goal. Unfinished work is of little value. We want to see you get to that goal weight and be healthy and embrace a healthy lifestyle. That's how you're going to keep it off.
I want to see, the before and after pictures. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the before picture, you can hardly hold it, and this
Yes.
is the after picture.
Yes.
So they're kind of like,
Yes.
well, that's great. All right, well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. For more information and answers to your questions, contact Diet Mentor by calling 716-500-DIET, D-I-E-T, or go to dietmentor.com. Sponsorship and promotional considerations for the preceding segment was provided by the following. I'm Joe Chile. You can listen to me mornings on the Big Weck. Joining us today on the Big Weck Buffalo on the Rise is Brian Worth from the Clarity Group. Brian,
Thanks for having me today, Joe. I appreciate it.
how are you? Nice to see you today. And you know what? I'm familiar, as we've discussed before, with the Clarity Group, because obviously I'm just not the announcer here. I'm a client.
Yep.
So I know very well what they do. I've worked with Karen Olson from your group on a number of times and sent a number of people there. So what do you think, in your own words, what makes the Clarity Group different from some of the other groups out there?
So number one, what I would say is that we're really going out of our way to try and make sure that we are actually where people are living, right? So the nice thing about Clarity Group is that you can expect to be able to walk into one of our offices and have a person in front of you doing a lifetime assessment of your health needs. So we want to be in your backyard. We have currently 5 locations throughout Western New York, and we're looking to expand.
That is what's very, very convenient. I mean, because of where I'm located, I was at like the Boulevard Mall, location. But, people can come, to you at all different locations. I think the other thing is, it's not like calling an 800 number and trying to go through all this kind of stuff. If I have a question, I can call up and get an answer to the question. I'm not afraid to ask the question and worried, am I going to sound stupid? Are they going to think I'm stupid? Because, you guys go right through and you explain it. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting, during the election period, when, that time is going on where you can change, I get a call, and you know, Joe, let's set up a time. We'll sit down. We'll go over what you currently have, what some of the options are, because you guys aren't. It's not like you get anything more if you sell a specific,
Nope.
you know, company or something like that.
It's all
right?
even keel, yeah, for sure.
And you don't charge people when they go in, and you're doing this background work on them, and for them, I should say. And when they go in, they don't have to worry about a price.
Yeah, I think, you know, what you're really touching base on is the fact that we, you know, really strive to have a personal relationship with each of the clients and members, eventual members that we serve, right? I think that means a lot, right? So when we're looking at these things, I mean, you know, you ask the question, a lot of times you may know who it is that sells you or represents you for your car insurance. Well, why would you not want somebody like that that's going to represent you when it comes to something more important, in my opinion, your health insurance? And that's what we do.
Yeah, and I think that people, you know, don't really understand that. I mean, when I turned or was going to turn 65, and this happened maybe a year before I turned 65, I contacted the group, and I said, look, I'm getting, you know, regular mail, snail mail now. I'm getting, you know, all kinds of emails from people, you know, from different groups that are talking about this. I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
A to Z, I have no idea. So, you know, I sat down, gave your group the names of my doctors, the medications I was on, you know, things like this. And they actually, Karen specifically, but they actually went through and did all the homework for me.
Exactly.
And came back and presented not just one option, but they said, look, here are the different things. What do you think works best for you? And to me, that was unbelievable, and no charge. You know, what do you get for free nowadays? I mean, you know, no charge, right?
That's right. There's no charges with our services. You know, what we do is we strive to give you all of your options within the healthcare space, whether that be something like a Medicare Advantage plan, obviously, or we're looking into Medicare supplement plans, depending on what your health needs are, and then we attach a prescription drug plan to that. So it is all about options, and think of us as in your corner, like you've already experienced.
So people are sitting out there this evening rather, and watching this, and they say, okay, what can I expect? So what can you tell them? What are they going to expect? What should they bring with them for an appointment with the Clarity Group?
I would certainly say that obviously experience with us is a journey, right? We want to continue to journey with you. So what we would ask for new clients to make sure that they bring in a list of your a list of your doctors that you're obviously seeing right now. We'd like to have a list of your prescription medications that you may be taking, and then also bringing in your original Medicare card if you actually do have that currently. If you do not currently have that, we'll put you on the path to making sure that you get signed up for all of those alphabet parts of Medicare, A, B, C, D, maybe even E. So.
And I've got like an HMO, POS plan, whatever it is referred to as. And I was kind of amazed because this year it went down. Yeah. My monthly, how did that happen?
So that's all determined by the carriers or the insurance companies which we represent. They take a look at their portfolio, see which plans are solvent, and they try to move things around to where I would say each individual or groups of individuals are using more services and stuff. So you'll see that from time to time. I love seeing in the industry when the costs go down. Comparatively to that, we've seen a lot of parts of or plans within Medicare that have gone up this year. So that's where people are really struggling, and there is help, and we'd love to be able to help them.
And we talked about the annual election period. What happens if you want to get into a Medicare plan outside of that election period? Is it impossible to do so? What's the deal?
Absolutely not. New York is a very, very friendly state when it comes to being able to change your plan mid-year. I would tell you that there's a lot of caveats to that, and it's really based off of each individual you meet with, but there's plenty of options. I would ask anybody who is going through a particular need or a new diagnosis to please reach out to us, because we can do a lot of help. I want to make sure that you're getting the coverage that you need, so that you're getting the medical attention that you obviously need.
Phone call or website, what's the best way to get a hold of you folks?
We ask that first and foremost, I think you would call us, right? Secondly, you can also hop onto our website and go ahead and click on meeting one of our agents, or you can click right through to set up an appointment with us directly.
So the website that people should be checking out, www.claritygroupny.com. And for more information and answers to your questions, contact Clarity Group by calling 716 393-3437. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by the following. I'm Joe Chili. You can join me mornings on the Big Weck. Joining us today on the Big Weck's Buffalo on the Rise is Jeff Hahn from SC Parker. Jeff, how are you?
Fine, Joe. How are you?
You're looking very dapper.
Well,
very
thank
nice
you.
Today.
Thank you.
Very good. I have to ask you a question now, and I know that you're going to frown at me when I say this, but we want to know how investment markets are doing. And when I get my investment things that come in the mail, I'm not in a rush to open them. And I don't know whether am I in the minority here? What's the deal?
Well, the last round should have been better for you.
Okay, I can open that when I get home.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I could tell a story about that, but I won't.
Okay, please. If it involves my investments, don't. But anyway.
Yeah. So the markets finished, the stock market finished very strong. The bond market too. Last year, the last quarter turned out real well. The beginning of the year so far, it's been a little rocky, which is normal, right? Especially after the market runs up so much. You know, the thing people don't often realize, when you're in the stock market, you own companies, and the companies are traded all day long, so the price of the stock changes all day long, which means the price of your account changes all day long, right?
Yeah.
And you just got to wrap your head around that your value of your investment is changing constantly.
Well, speaking of wrapping your head around things, when I watch Money Matters or something at CNN or something like that, and I see them with a shot of the stock market, and I see somebody doing this, it really scares the living daylights.
Well, okay, so at least they're not jumping out of windows.
No.
Right.
No, that's true. And I say that tongue in cheek. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? But what's the fundamental reason for investing? I mean, it's not to go in and constantly switch money in and out and in and out and in and out. You've got to be patient with some of this stuff, right?
Absolutely. So for most folks, you want to have a system where you're making regular deposits. You want to invest in things that you believe in and that you're willing to watch them grow over time. That's the objective with the stock market. You're buying ownership, so you're hoping that it will become more valuable, but you know that it's going to change all the time. The other side of the investment world is to preserve your money. So that's the bond market. You're making loans with the bond market. And when we lend money, all we want to do is get paid back and get some interest for it.
All right. I've got a great idea for you.
Go for it.
You're going to think that I'm crazy here, but what about starting a company to recycle batteries from electric cars?
Well, there actually are companies like that, but they're privately held.
Okay.
As far as I know. I don't know of any public recycling battery companies.
But it's something new, right? I mean,
it is something new, and it is something that will grow. That's a field that will grow as electric cars become more prevalent and the batteries start to deteriorate and fail. But those are they're made out of things that are highly recyclable, right? So yeah, you might be onto something there, Joe.
Not that it's going to probably affect me at this point, but all right, when we start talking about financial...
You don't have an extra 10 or 20 million laying around?
No. It's funny if you would have asked me before Christmas, but no. What about financial literacy, when we talk about financial literacy?
I'll tell you, it's a huge issue for us. It's a huge issue for us as a country. And, everybody participates in the economy. We all have our own economy. It's just the nature of the world. People should have an understanding of what the stocks are, what the stock market is, and how a bond works, and how interest rate works, and how compounding works for you, and also the interest that you're paying on your credit cards, if you have them, how that works against you, right? It increases the cost of a good by an enormous amount. And these are all concepts that we spend a lot of time with our clients on. We're making publications on our website. We have all sorts of articles that cover these things. But to me, it's a national and cultural situation that needs to be addressed.
Let me ask you this. This may seem like a foolish question, but I'm in school and I learn calculus.
Yeah.
Never in my life would I use calculus. I don't think, but I never have. But as far as financial planning, what did they do to educate you for it?
It's always on an elective basis, right? I don't mean to dump on the education system,
right.
And I'm not trying to preach. I got a little soapboxy there for a second, but we learn. Like my kids went to the Williamsville schools. They had 8 years worth of French. I don't know if you parachuted my sons into Paris if they could make it to the restroom or not, but the only business education that they got was if it was done on an elective basis. I think there is a movement, right? In fact, we were out in California and they had a petition drive making financial literacy a requirement in all of the schools. I think it's something that you could spend some time on every year with these kids, because they're going to be on their own when they get out of it, right?
There you go, from Professor Jeff Hahn. Jeff, website, phone number if people need to get a hold of you.
Phone number 716-632-6800 or scparker.com. We have a Facebook thing going now too, Joe. We're in the modern era.
Great, that's fabulous. For more information and answers to your questions, contact SC Parker by calling 716-480-7500 or go to scparker.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by the following.
Thanks for watching this edition of the Big Wack Presents Buffalo on the Rise. For information on this and other shows, go to our website, bigwack.com, and find out how you can participate on the program if you're a hometown business. I'm Joe Chili. Thanks for watching and listening to the Big Wack, Buffalo's oldie station.
The Big Wack Presents Buffalo on the Rise was sponsored by Dr. Kaplansky Dental Implants. Get new permanent teeth in 24 hours with our exclusive Teeth Now process.